Your father's here.
What's this?
That's your brother Loki. You're gonna need that.
Huh? Oh, you are good.
Took you long enough?
I had to pick up the key.
No one else needed a key. I cannot hold her back any longer.
Back who? Who are you talking about?
The goddess of death. It's begun already. So seek out the fire. Kneel.
Wait, Father.
Preserve the peace. Cast aside selfish ambition. Act only for the good of the realm.
Wait,
It
Father.
is done. Settled. I surrendered my power to you. She has returned. Seek out the fire.
Odin.
Return home. The people need you.
You took everything from me.
You gave up everything to pursue your twisted dream. Your way was cold and brutal.
Still is.
Bring us back! Masters now, please.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. This is one of the very first officially released Infinity Saga deleted scenes. There was a Blu-ray included with the limited production box set that included a deleted scene or two from each movie throughout the saga, and now slowly Marvel has decided to release them to the public. We're going to go ahead and break down this entire alternate scene, give it a quick narrative and annotation, as I think there's two specific and very important changes that Taika Waititi decided to make to this opening sequence early in Act 1 that really helped not only the strength of the movie, but the strength of Thor's character arc. We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including one of these limited edition Infinity Saga box sets, so you too can have this Blu-ray with all the deleted scenes. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, obviously, the hilarity and comic relief with Doctor Strange at the beginning of the first act is a little different than what they showed in the film, and although I think I like this a little bit better, ending with the joke of Loki being stuck in a porta potty while everybody uses it continuously, they were able to get the same amount of hilarity with transporting Thor all over the Sanctum Sanctorum and then having Loki just fall continuously the whole time, and it really cuts that scene down a lot. Now, this isn't the changes though that are important. There's 2 decisions during the next part of this scene that really change how Thor's character arc works throughout the movie, and the first one is Thor explaining to him that I gave you my powers now. Now, in the film, he doesn't explain it directly, and that leads to him in the third act, in a moment of crisis while Hela is about to kill him, being able to flash back to the shores that we see in the film with his father and get the revelation that he's not the god of hammers. It leads to a stronger act of self-discovery throughout the whole film, and while he may have been able to do it in both parts, explain here during this intro that it's over now, I gave you my power, and still have that flashback at the end of the film, it's not the same poignancy as if you don't over-explain it during the first act, and where these movies sometimes really do have to cater to the masses and making sure they don't leave it too ambiguous. I really thought this was a nice touch in leaving it that way, so it's a stronger reveal when we first see Thor with the full Odin force at the end of the film. Now, the second very obvious important decision by Taika Waititi to change this scene, outside of stuff like the scenery being set in the alleys of New York instead of the shores of where New Asgard will eventually be set up, is what happens here between Odin and Hela. The fact that he's still alive when she arrives, the fact that they're able to have some discourse in the first place, and then of course the fact that she kills him. This changes the motivations on a lot of fronts for Thor, and let me explain. Firstly, Thor and Loki now witness the death of Odin at Hela's hands, and instead of making this movie about Thor realizing that Ragnarok is inevitable and the way to beat her, who he's supposed to be as king, and saving Asgard, it now becomes more of a revenge film about avenging Odin's death, and that's not what this film is about at all. Secondly, in being able to see Odin pass much in the same way the Ancient One does, you build out the canon of how these sort of immortal or godlike beings pass into the ether or the afterlife, as well as being able to transfer the Odin Force upon his death when his time and job here is done. You also get a change in motivation now, because you remember during that scene in the film, Thor thinks this is really Loki's fault, and that leads to them at the end realizing they're just different people, and that very poignant conversation they have in the elevator, which if you haven't watched Taika Waititi's breakdown, an exclusive for Variety, that's been up for a couple of years now, you can easily source it on YouTube, or I'll make sure to leave the link down in the description below. He breaks down that moment between Thor and Loki in the elevator where Thor finally realizes, no matter how much he wishes it to be true, that him and Loki will never be on the same team, so to speak, and as he puts it at the time, went their separate ways a long time ago, and it's amazing revelation and real growth for Thor. And if you think about it, chronologically happens only hours or a half a day before Thanos intercepts their ship and kills Loki in front of us. Granted, there was a break between Ragnarok and Infinity War, but chronologically there's only hours that take place. And regardless of the tragedy of the destruction of Asgard, the loss of his father, and of course the calamity that ensues over the next couple of films, Thor Ragnarok actually has some closure at the end of the film for all the pertinent storylines. Hela has been defeated, Thor has realized himself, and he's had a lot of growth with the relationship for his brother. Most importantly, he's been able to do it throughout the film on his own, which he still could have done if they had changed the scene to the alternate scene we saw here instead of what was included in the film. But specifically when it comes to the death of his father at the hands of Hela, instead of his natural death at the end of his life, passing the Odin Force onto his son, it changes the motivations for not only Thor, but now how the film ends and how Hela dies. It comes at the hands of Surtur. That's not a great conclusion for someone that you would think would want to avenge his father's death. And like I've said multiple times, because this movie's not about that, the narrative works much better having him pass the Odin Force and join the afterlife naturally and let Thor realize that power on his own. One final thought I'll leave you with: a lot of us thought that this movie really started the trend of showing us fake trailers. If you remember, the very first trailer for Thor Ragnarok showed them in the New York alleyway with Hela catching Mjolnir in that scene, much like the Infinity War trailer where we saw Hulk running with the rest of the Avengers, and only coming to find out recently that Professor Hulk was initially meant to be in that final battle. Is it the case that we all collectively gave Marvel Studios way too much credit and assumed that they were so on the ball that trailers that didn't match the final product must have been on purpose, and they must have meant to mislead, instead of the actual case that they were really just the original scenes that they had filmed? In an effort to get trailers out, they ran with some of the very first shots, and those turned out not to make the final cut, and instead we all thought they were misleading us on purpose. Man, they must have been laughing over at Marvel HQ, and you can imagine the smile on Kevin Feige and Bob Iger's face as they talk about, man, we can do no wrong. Even our mistakes of releasing footage that doesn't make the final film is taken as strategy by our fans. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about all of this, including my point that I just made about now having two scenes from these two movies that were made into trailers that we found out should have been in the film as alternate scenes. And let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. But first, I want to give a shout out to my boy Gem Mint over at Gem Mint Collectibles. He has an awesome channel where he covers everything from statues to collectibles, some of the newest comic editions. Marvel sends him comics every month. He goes over omnibuses. It's a lot of really cool content. I'm sure a lot of you won't be surprised to find out I'm a collector, and I'm sure some of you are too. And in fact, in his video today, he actually covered a Loki custom statue that I sent him. If you guys would, I'm going to leave a link to his channel pinned as a comment down below. Hit that link, sub his channel. It would mean the world to me if the EA family would show him some love, or if you want to get caught up to date on all the modern comics and what's going on in the runs today and check out some of this awesome collectible stuff you might not see elsewhere, his channel is definitely for you. It would mean the world to me, again, if you would hit that link and sub to his channel. Now, getting into the giveaway stuff here at the channel, we're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 600,000 subscriber mark. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like the limited edition Infinity Saga box set that includes the Blu-ray for which all these deleted scenes are included. If you want to be entered to win the PlayStations or the box set, any of the other prizes we're giving away here at the channel as we double down throughout the next couple of years all the way up to 1 million, all the same rules will always apply. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners are announced at the end of the video, and if you've missed any of the past winners, no worries. All you have to do, scroll back through the channel, look for the winner announcement and the sub count in the title, click on that, and scroll to the end. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Guys, thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.